Hey everybody, what's up? I'm back, Tanisha Portier, super duper excited. This is the next part two. We're gonna make something super awesome. I know you're ready. You saw the vegan stir-fried rice, right? You could smell it through the camera, and I know you were like, oh, let me go get these ingredients. What did she make? Well, let me show you, because this is part two that's like off the chain dope. So we're gonna get this party started. I'm gonna start off with cutting up some of the vegetables that we're gonna be using, and then we're gonna stir fry them. And then we're gonna show you what's gonna happen next. Are you ready? Let's get this party started. Okay, so now I have some red onions here that I already chopped, so it's probably like a quarter of an onion. Now it's kind of all over the place. It's part of the show. Remember, I tell you that you can make this stuff on a shoestring budget, so use your scraps, don't throw anything away. And as you can see here, I'm gonna just cut this part off because once you start to like get more of the skin of it, it kind of gets like a little bit hard to chew. So if you're not like this professional cutter, you don't have to like be perfect at it. You just want to have a great meal. You want it to taste good. You want the stuff to pop, and that's what I'm here to help you do, right? So I'm gonna cut these up, and remember that the red onions, did I say mushrooms? Well, the red onions have magnesium, so you want to make sure that you're getting the red onions in here. Now I like the white onions. I use white onions in some of my recipes, but by far my favorite, red onions. I mean, they just smell so good when they hit that grease and whew, that oil. And you're probably wondering, like, my cuts are kind of thick. I've always made my cuts this thick. Only when I'm like making some type of a vegan chickpea tuna, salad. That's when I kind of make them a little bit smaller. So, and it's flying around as part of the show. Part of the show, right? You're not gonna get everything perfect. So I'm just gonna chop it up a little bit more here. Love it, love it, love it. Because they're gonna stir fry and they're gonna wither, wilt. Sorry, wither, wilt. What is that? What's the word? Anyway, it's gonna get smaller. It's gonna condense in size, yes? And so what I have here is just some of my onions, and then I'm gonna take some of my mushrooms, and these are just white mushrooms here. You can pop off the tops, the bottoms of it, and then you can toss those. Remember what I say, don't throw anything away. You can cut these up. It's still food, and you're still getting some vitamin D in there, so why would you waste, right? Why would you waste food? We're not doing this here. This is Tanisha Portier, and we are making everything on a shoestring budget, so we have tons of mushrooms, but we don't have to use everything. All we need to do is just use a few of these to cut up and stir fry, because we're gonna be using raw and sauteed mushrooms, yes. And we're gonna stir these up. I bet you're wondering, did I tell you what we're making? We're making some spring rolls. Now we're gonna make some spring rolls my way. So if you've ever had some spring rolls and you're like, I never had that in my spring roll, I said they're my spring rolls. So we're gonna be making it up. You have to be creative. This is what I do. So I don't wanna mix these with the onions yet, because when you put the onions in all by themselves with a little bit of the, let me get this here, with just a little bit of the oil, oh my goodness, off the chain, amazing. So I'm gonna get this into a bowl. I'm gonna take it over here to get ready to stir fry these ingredients, and you're gonna smell this dancing in the pot, and you're gonna wanna start getting your ingredients. So are you ready? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get this party started. Let's stir fry right now. Hey everybody, what's up? I'm back. I'm ready to get this next part going. So Tanisha Portier here. I know that you're like ready to just put this all together and try it for yourself, for your family, for your friends. You You already know I got you, right? With plant-based vegan recipes. Listen, the spring rolls here, I'm doing this my way, so you probably have made these before, you probably haven't. I'm sure you brought them to the store or seen them, maybe the fried spring rolls, where we're gonna do the fresh spring rolls. And don't ask me how to pronounce it. I just know that it's Vietnamese rice paper. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is you can get the square ones, you can get the circle. I have the square here. They actually have some that have sesame seeds inside. I'm actually going to be using, oh, look at that. Nice. We're gonna get another one. And if it looks like that, that's okay, because rice paper sometimes breaks up and you have to kind of be careful, but these look pretty cool right here, right? So I've got my rice papers here. I'm gonna set one over here to the side, like so, yes. And then I put a little bit of oil on the plate just because I like making them, and I know that this is not the typical traditional way to make it, but I just want to make sure it doesn't stick too much to the plate. So if you see that it's shining a little bit, we're gonna try the first one, we'll look at the second one. It's all about trial and error, okay? It's not like you're perfect when you're doing it, but I'm gonna stick it into, I have some hot water. It's not extremely hot, so I can stick this rice paper inside of here, inside of my water, right? Woo. Kind of warm though, because you want to make it pretty warm, where at least the rice paper starts to bend enough where it doesn't break, right? So that it gets that flexibility and it doesn't break like the other rice paper that we had to the side. So now what I'm gonna do is, now that I have that rice paper, I'm just going to drop a couple of little drips of water on my plate too, just so that it can still absorb and not stick to the plate. So what you want to try to do is lay it as flat as you can on here. The way I found it to be easy is to just get some of the lettuce here that you have, and if you can get the lettuce kind of where it's already a little bit curved on here, and just stick it right in the middle. You have to kind of find which one is going to fit your rice paper on here, and this looks pretty cool. So as you notice that we sauteed some of the onions and the mushrooms on there, well, guess what? We've got a place for those. Let me move my rice paper over here. And what I'm going to do is, the first thing is I am going to add a little bit of my cucumber. So what I started to do is I just sliced the cucumber in half, and then I made some lines on here. So all you have to do, if you don't want all the skin, you can just slice off the skin like so. Now you want to move fast with these rice papers, because they can kind of start to stick, right? So what I'm gonna do here, now that I have that, is I'm just gonna make some slices with my cucumbers, and all I'm gonna do here is the same slice is I'm gonna add it right to the middle of my lettuce. And it's almost like lettuce and a cucumber. It's not almost, it is. And I can put everything inside of here, which will hold the rice paper, will hold, and it'll have a really good fit in there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of the purple cabbage. You can add, the nice thing is you can add avocado, you can add any types of ingredients that you want. This is what I had in my cupboard. So remember, you always use what you have, because you want to make it on the 2-string budget, or you want to get extravagant. You want to go all out and show people what you can do if you're doing it for you, if you're doing it for friends or family. This is cilantro. So I'm adding some cilantro on here. Love it, love it, love it. And then I'm going to keep going. So we're filling this up. I have some raw mushrooms on here. These are just the white mushrooms, and I'm gonna put 2 on there because we want to make this raw and vegan, plant-based. And then remember, you watch me over there, you watch me saute some of the ooh, look at this, it smells so good. So it's pretty warm, it's not too hot, it's not, you know, too cold. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this, I'm gonna call it my lettuce boat, okay? And I'm just gonna put this inside of my lettuce boat because it looks so amazing. So I have some raw and I have some sauteed vegetables in here. Oh, it's getting it. Now remember, if you overpack it too much, you're gonna have to double wrap this. Now I kind of want to make sure that I can still have a chance to get it all in. Now I have, this is just kind of like some of the, I don't want to call it the spaghetti, but it's also kind of the same little spaghetti type stringy things that you see when you actually go to like a Thai restaurant or a Vietnamese restaurant where they put these inside the spring rolls. I'm going to add a little bit of tomatoes in here. So I'm just going to add a couple of tomatoes because that always gives it a wonderful flair. Now I want you to remember that we sauteed it makes me laugh. We sauteed the mushrooms and we sauteed the onions, so they already have some nice flavor in there. So with that, all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add some of the black sesame seed, and I'm gonna add the sesame seed right inside of it, just like that. And I want some of it to get on the rice paper because when you fold it up, it looks like really, really lovely. So now that we have that on there, the only thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna use this as our dipping sauce, but I'm also just gonna add just a little bit of the Thai sweet and sour sauce right in there, just like that, because it's gonna give it that tang, that bang, that really goodness that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna move some of these things out of the way because I want you to see the magic of what is happening here. Let's see if we can get this rolling, okay? Can I get a drum roll? So now that we have that, all we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this over just like that, and then we're gonna continue to roll and wrap it. Now, what I wanna tell you is the secret here of what I think is making this happen like this, I'm gonna add a couple more of these in here, and then just right around the back of it, is that I added a little bit of the oil. So I added some cold pressed oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, I love it. A little bit of cold pressed avocado oil in here. And then we have it. This is our spring roll. So this is spring roll number 1. We're gonna add one more spring roll to this. So I'm just gonna add this to the side right here. And then we're gonna take this rice paper that we have, and then we're gonna make it the same way. So all you do is you stick it in the water. You let it get a little warm. Now, if you take it out too quick and it's a little hard, it's gonna bend and pop, and you're just gonna have to start all over because it's gonna be all crumbly. But once we add it in here and you notice that it starts to fold without tearing apart, you're doing it. This is the perfect way. Now, I still have a little bit of oil on my plate. That's gonna be the winner. That's gonna probably help you to kinda, where it's not gonna stick necessarily to the plate. And then that same water, boom, I'm gonna put some water right on there just so that it's still gonna keep that hold. And if you remember, if you have your lettuce a little bolt here, and if it's too big, it's just not gonna go well with your rice paper. So what we're gonna do is kind of size it up. And if you notice that it's just gonna be too big, kind of break it off. And then look, there it is. It fits in there well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the exact same thing. So this time I'm gonna add a little bit of the rice that we have here. And so I added a little bit of the organic soy sauce in here with a little bit of cilantro, and then remember this is garlic rice, so with a little bit of herbs and spices. And then I'm going to just right after that add a little bit of my tomatoes in here because that is super awesome. Yes, yes, yes. It's almost like a cilantro delight. And then just a couple of the raw mushrooms, and then we've got to top it off with our saute because this is what you came for. This is what the party's all about, right? So now we're gonna throw these on. Oh my goodness, these onions, these salt. Woo. I'm trying to tell you, are you excited? Because I know I'm super duper excited. Now again, we have our little, I don't even know what to call these. They're kind of like the spaghetti, like rice strings on here. We're just gonna throw them over like that. And then I love kind of like decorating and just having fun with the black sesame. The more the better, because these are super, super, super nutritional. And we're just gonna throw it on there like so. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more of the cilantro just to give it color. But guess what? This time I'm coloring outside of the lines. I mean, I'm coloring my rice paper with cilantro. It's part of the show because you know what? You have to be creative and you don't always have to follow the rules in life. It gets boring, right? So if you don't spice it up, it's just like, who wants to be like doing the same thing every day, day in and out, without having a little bit of a mix up? So sometimes it's good to stay consistent, but when you can just mix it up and have a little fun, that's when the party starts. So as you know, I have the cucumber here and we just slice it up. I love seeded vegetables. So we're just gonna take this cucumber, I'm gonna slice it already, and then I'm just gonna put those in there because that's gonna give it that added crunch, that deliciousness, and then some red cabbage because we want color in here. We want flair, we want fun, and we want delicious. So we have that, we've got all these things going, we've got our party started. Now we're hoping that the oil and the water that we put at the bottom is going to help hold on. As you see, the rice paper here is very flexible. This is when you know you're making it correctly. So as we do that, we're just wrapping it around. Yes, and it's holding perfectly. So remember, now that it's holding perfectly, I want those sesame seeds to go right on the back because I want it all over this spring roll. And then I'm just gonna roll it, roll it. You gotta have fun, people. And look, voila, that is our next spring roll. So now, as you can see, I'm gonna move this to the side. And you can see our 2 spring rolls. We're still not done. We're gonna put this together. It's sturdy. It's good to go. It's not gonna fall out. We still have our dipping sauce to put this all together. And I'm gonna show you what this delicious vegan plant-based spring roll can do for you once we combine everything. Are you ready? I'll be right back. Hey, what's up everybody? We're at the home stretch now. I know that this is what you've been waiting for. Well, we got the finale going right here. This is it. We have our vegan stir-fried rice, and then we have our spring roll. I was like, there was so much on this plate that I could only fit one. So I was like, hey, if you want another one, if you want to share the other one, you can do it. Slice it in half, do whatever you want to do. Add it in the, you can meal prep it and put it in a little zippy and have it for another day. I'm gonna try it out, but first off, I'm gonna pour myself some tea. But let me just tell you, I have some raw or unfiltered wildflower honey. So I just added that to my cups. And so these are the 2 filtered cups. So it keeps cold and hot. So I'm gonna add that tea to the bottom because it's nothing like having some warm, delicious tea. So I'm inviting you to the party. Okay, and I'm gonna stir this up. Ooh, that honey is just, it's nothing like honey, I'm telling you. So raw plant-based foods, just absolutely amazing. So once we get this stirred up, we're gonna start, and as you can see here, let me just show you how that looks here with that 2. So if you want cold, keep cold, hot. You want to get the 2 filtered glasses on there. So with that same thing, I'm just gonna rinse off this spoon because I want to try our stir-fry rice and our spring roll. I'm super excited. Are you ready to dig in? I'm gonna show you how it tastes. Oh my goodness. It's warm, so here we go. This is my restaurant. Are you coming to my restaurant? The flavors are so amazing. I absolutely love it. It's just rich. All of the vegetables, it just tastes amazing. The oil's perfect. It's not over seasoned. The soy sauce and the coconut amino acids are just amazing. It's so fantastically flavorful. So if you are excited about that, let's get ready to try our spring roll. I'm gonna dip it here in our sauce. As you can see here, here we go. Are you ready? Oh my goodness. Here we go. Amazing. Amazing, let me tell you. I can taste every single ingredient in here. The sauteed onions. Oh my gosh, the bell peppers, or not the bell pepper, the onions and the mushrooms, everything. Oh my gosh, I know that it's so delicious that I can have like this for lunch or dinner. And then the tomatoes, all right here. This is amazing. It's delicious. I'm telling you, if you see black sesame seeds on here, it's just because it's just that good and we have them sprinkled all over. So don't worry about getting black sesame seeds on your teeth or on your lips where you're eating. If you see it from me, it's okay. It's part of the show. It's just all good. It's super delicious. So I'm gonna definitely advise you to try some out for yourself. This is amazing. It's simple, it's fast, it's quick, it's fun. You can feed your family with this, and I'm telling you, it's just amazing. Now let's try our tea. Oh, good. It's so good. And since it's been raining, it's a little bit cold out. This is just the perfect taste, the perfect touch to just have this warm, nice meal. So go ahead, you try it. Let me know what you like down in the comments, Tanisha Portier. And check out my page because I got more videos to show you. You can go to TanishaPortier.com on my website, or you can follow me on IG at The Tanisha Portier, or just follow me on YouTube at Tanisha Portier. All right, I'll see you soon. Stay tuned wherever you are in the world. I'm blowing kisses to the globe, and smile.